Emerson, and this is Kelso, Washington. Kelso used to have the acclaim of being the smelt capital of the world. That's the fish type smelt rather than the stink type smelt. Over the past year, Kelso now has the acclaim of being the second largest landslide disaster in this nation's history. Kelso has a population of over 12,000 people and is bordered by the city of Longview, a population of over 31,000. Before too long, Kelso and Longview is expected to become one city. Up to the right of us is the hill on which the community called Aldercrest sits. Now as you look straight ahead, you'll see that the freeway, Interstate 5, bends most abruptly to the left. This is at milepost 39. When we first moved here 10 years ago, we couldn't help but wonder how come the interstate didn't continue going straight ahead. This interstate connects Portland to Seattle, and by all reasoning, we could see no reason why they would divert the freeway and instead of having it continue going straight, make a sudden diversion to the left. We later, within the past few months, have found out the reason as to why the state, when they built Interstate 5, diverted the freeway over to the left. That was to avoid landslides from the hill up to our right. This is the hill referred to as Aldercrest that sits to the right of the freeway. On this hill are approximately 137 to 140 homes that are sliding down the hill, soon to be destroyed. The freeway, Interstate 5, after we had passed milepost 39, once again regained its straightforward direction at milepost 40. This hill used to be referred to in ancient times by the Cowlitz Indians as the Moving Mountain. The state of Washington, when they decided to put Interstate 5 through the Kelso area, in the process of doing excavating, noticed that the hill was very unstable and was sliding down onto their work. They decided that it was unsafe and they wanted to protect the motorists. Therefore, they made that diversion that was mentioned. The building of Interstate 5 took place more than 20 years ago. Then, approximately 20 years ago, in I believe it was 1973, a Mr. Frank Funningsland decided he was going to come up on top of this hill. Frank was sitting on the Kelso City Council at that time, had a great deal of influence with district judges and everything. It was partners with him, and he decided he was going to acquire the property up here, which was formerly a big ranch called the Grimm Ranch. And Frank Funningsland decided he wanted to develop. What we have down below is the cities of Kelso and Longview. Longview is divided from Kelso by the Cowlitz River. The building that you see directly in the middle of the screen is the Hall of Justice for Cowlitz County, and that building sits right in the middle, or is half of it on Kelso and half of it on Longview property. Across the Columbia River, which you can't see. Today it looks like Los Angeles on a summer day, and I don't know what the occasion is. It's normally quite clear. But across the Columbia River, which would be around in the middle of the screen, would be Rainier, Oregon. So we're not too far from Oregon here, just a matter of a couple of minutes. Now, to give you a general idea of the quality of the homes that are up here that are being lost to the landslide, this is the home of Mr. and Mrs. Rod Wright. This house is, I would say, 3.5, 4 years old. And right beside it is Rod's daughter and son-in-law. This is the home of Mr. and Mrs. Brett Kissinger. And it was built shortly after the Wrights' home. They have a beautiful park type setting adjacent to their property here, whereon they've been feeding the deer. They throw apples out for them, and they get out there with a riding lawnmower and maintain this property, manicuring it on a weekly basis. They've taken a great deal of pride in what they have here. The homeowners in this area are all influential people. They're not just run-of-the-mill type laborers. We have the superintendent of schools for Kelso District up here. We have the Cowlitz County prosecuting attorney who lives up here. We have physicians, educators. One of the deans of Lower Columbia College resides up here. And although basically Cowlitz County is comprised of majority of timber type people, we do have people up here who are in the professions. And this home also, like the Wrights and the Kissingers, sits on our street on Banyan Drive. This is the home of Mr. and Mrs. Ron Spauman. Ron's a good friend of mine, and he's one of the Washington State Troopers. It looks like he's home today. I see his patrol unit there. Looking down Banyan Drive, going toward the top of the hill. And here across the street is the home of Dr. and Mrs. Bill Jordan. And Bill Jordan is the superintendent of schools here in Kelso. The Jordan's home was built not long after ours, that is, was completed not long after ours. It was built by the same contractor that did our home, and I believe about halfway in the process of building our home, the contractor came over and started doing the Jordan's home. This is the home of our neighbors and good friends, Doug and Cheryl Shue. Doug, until just a couple of months ago, sat on the city council, as did Bill McCowan, who lives also here on Banyan Drive, and his home was directly across from that of the state patrolman. The Shues have two boys. Eric is the oldest of the two, and he and our youngest son Michael are the very closest of friends. The Shues, before they built this home, which is approximately 2 years old now, the Shues used to live up the hill here, and situated, oh, right up in there somewhere on the top on Cedar Glen, and we'll be going up there and looking at that area in just a couple of minutes. I believe one of the most recent of the homes built up here is this. This is the Johnson's home, and they live up on the hill just behind our house. This house actually is still in construction and is less than a year and a half old. Have a fantastic view from up here. This is Banyan Drive and the home of the Shoes. The long driveway that we see here goes up to the Johnson's home, where I just finished showing you the view. Theirs being the newest house that was developed up here, or built 20-some years ago, when Mr. Funningsland decided he wanted to build up here. Both he and the city of Kelso were aware of the slide potential of this hill. Geotech engineers have told us all that, even though we were unaware of it when we moved up here, that they have known and have been tracking this area for quite a few centuries, that it has been known to be a slide area. In fact, Funningsland and the city were both advised by the state numerous times to do geological studies in addition to the ones that the state had provided to document the fact, and to have total knowledge on their own behalf that this is a slide area and dangerous for populating and building the homes up here on. Well, this is our home. It's only 5 years old, and when we purchased it, we bought a total of 5 acres. Down below our property, down in the area that we're looking right now, is 35 acres. It extends down below our property through here and quite a distance down through there. A total of 35 acres. Mr. Funningsland came back after we had just finished building our property, or building our home, and decided he was going to pull out 35 acres of trees in preparation for another future development. He was going to split those 35 acres into 7-acre parcels or 5-acre parcels, and sell them to people who wanted to build custom homes. Well, when he pulled the trees out at the base of the hill here, which was already oversaturated from the past 3 years of rain, the mud just sought out the source of least resistance and came sliding on down the hill. And I'll show you the effects of that in a couple of minutes. When the earth starts sliding, it starts out with just a small crack, such as what we have here in our yard. Within a very short time, that small crack develops into a situation such as we see here. The earth drops away, pulls back. It becomes what's referred to as a shingle effect. One piece of earth drops down, pulls away. The next piece behind it pulls away until it just keeps going. This is the back of our house. It'll give you an idea of how close this is getting. What we have here will soon be taking place further up the hill and continue going, like I said, with a shingle effect until it gets up, takes the house down, takes out the road, and works its way up into the hill. This again is our home. We are one of about 20 people who were left out of the 139 homes here in the Aldercrest area, and by July 31st, the remainder of us, the last 20 who are holding it out, will have to be out of here in order to receive any funding from the government. We'll have to go anyway because, as I'd shown you, the erosion in the backyard will be eventually taking the house down. Geotech engineers claim that within 5 years this entire hill will go down. Now eventually this is what will happen to the hillside. We have a cliff that has been created. They call it a scarp, and this cliff is about 100 feet from the top down to the bottom. Homes have come down as the earth is pulled away, and there's numerous homes that are further on down the line here at the bottom of what's eroded. Sitting right about in the middle of the screen used to be, I would say about a year and a half, 2 years ago, the home of the Hughes. Their home now sits down behind our property. It has slid more than 200 yards and has finally, after sliding all that distance, has finally crashed to the ground and is just a pile of rubble. The majority of the situation here has been confined beyond the fence line here, which is right at the end of our property line. But as you see, we're on the street. This is Banyan Drive, and beyond this point, our street is completely out, all the way down and around, taken down with the slide. This home is right in the middle of the street. Have another home right here that is going end over end, and will be soon making its demise very quickly. The movement of the slide in through this area had been recorded as moving at the rate of 1 foot per hour. This is Cedar Glen Court. It's at the top of the hill in front of our place and directly up. This was a cul-de-sac on which 3 homes directly in front of us used to sit, one of them being the home of Doug and Cheryl Shue, which was the one right in the middle. These homes were the first of the 3 to go. We still have one home here that is on its way down the hill. It's sitting right on the edge of the scarp line. This is the driveway leading to the first home that went down. The Shue's home was situated right there. And the third home, which was purchased, I believe, by bridges sat there. These homes used to sit up where we're standing and are now at the bottom of the cliff. This is Aldercrest Drive. And this is what's left of it. The white piping that you see was temporary utilities for us. They eventually, when everything started going, had to put all of our water, electricity, sewer, and everything above ground. And it's all going down into that area through there. You can't see the portion that I'm talking about, but everything's sliding down into the 35 acres where Funningsland came in and pulled the 35 acres of trees out. Well, we're back on Banyan Drive, and I'm in my driveway looking across the street. It's telling you about the utilities all being above ground. Yes, even our telephone line is above ground. Goes up into the trees. This is our temporary sewer line. All the sewer system in the area has collapsed. There's only a couple of usable manholes that haven't been destroyed. This is one of them, so ours has been rerouted. Actually, the word, I guess, was rerouted, not rerouted. I've gone beyond the barricade, and I'm showing you the cliff as it's eroded away. I'm not going to venture beyond this point. It's very dangerous. The brown house here used to be sitting way up here and was attached to this, which is what's left of the garage. And as I'd shown you earlier, now the brown house is sitting in the middle of the street, whereas before it was way up in here. From this point on, down to Aldercrest, where we were earlier, where the road was washed out or eroded away, there's approximately 9 homes that have already totally collapsed. During the night I can hear the homes in the quietness after everybody's gone to bed, the creaking, the cracking, and the crashing. You can't see it, but this is the edge of our property line, and beyond the trees, as I'd mentioned earlier, it slid about over 200 yards was the home of the Hughes, and it sat just a little bit in front of where the White House is there. That's about ready to go down. But this is the course that the slide is all taking. It's all going down to the 35 acres. From up in there, an already oversaturated hill where people with no sense of responsibility, greedy for money, come in and pull out trees at the base, causing devastation such as this. Right now we estimate that the financial damage to the homeowners up here, all totaled 139 of us, is over $30 million, and we're trying to recapture that from HUD, Federal Emergency Management, and various other agencies. We also have a legal suit that we're about ready to go into against the City of Kelso and the Department of Natural Resources for allowing Funningsland to develop up here originally back in the early 70s, and also again come in and pull another 35 acres out. Whether we're going to take legal action against Mr. Funningsland has yet to be decided. He really doesn't have much to go for in the way of finances. So we're probably just going to limit our efforts to the city and the Department of Natural Resources for the state of Washington. We have an excellent law team. The law firm that we've decided to have work with us on this has locked horns with Exxon Valdez over the oil spill up in Alaska, and they won that. They also represented the state of Washington against the tobacco industry and won that. Right now they're working in behalf of the government of Argentina and the people down there against the U.S. tobacco industry. They have a fantastic track record, and we have some really big guns. If the city and the Department of Natural Resources has any sense at all, I don't give them that much credit, they would just throw up their hands and say, hey, we're going to settle this out of court. Once again, this is how it all starts. Cracks like these, giving away, sliding away, eventually becomes a cliff. This home has been toughing it out pretty well. We're surprised it's lasted this long. But then the geotech engineers come up here, they look at our place, and they're totally bewildered. They can't understand why our house is still sitting.